Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I know there are many of you in here from different parts of the world, and happy that you are here. We are excited and thankful, really, that you're giving us the time to talk about step one and walk you through our plan on how you're going to crush step one. So, my name is Morgan Duke, and I'm the product education manager here at Picmonic. I have been in the USMLE preparation market for the past several years now, and absolutely love the medical education space. And again, I'm just thrilled to be here with all of you. So a little bit of housekeeping first. This is what we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to walk through just some best practices in preparation for the exam, some things to help you study. Then I want to walk you through our guide or plan on how you're going to crush step one using Picmonic as well as several other resources. For those of you that are maybe new to Picmonic or have never seen Picmonic, I just want to do a quick overview of the Picmonic learning system. And then I want to give everybody a quick chance to ask me any questions, allow me to answer your questions, and have everybody walk away here with hopefully no confusion and a set plan on how they're going to get through the next several months, several weeks, year, whatever the case might be. So you all already know this, but med students tend to continue to ignore these for whatever reason, and I would be doing you a disservice if we did not just quickly walk through these. So first, I want you to assess your weaknesses. The best way to assess your weaknesses is a NBME exam. So go to the National Board of Medical Examiners website. For about $50 to $60, you can purchase one of their assessments, and these assessments are a great way for you to identify any basic sciences weaknesses that you might have. Plus, the National Board of Medical Examiners are the folks that write the step one questions on the actual exam. So it's a great way for you to just get a preview of the types of questions that you're going to get and get your brain prepared for those types of questions. I want you to be able to find your own study location, and whether you study best in the library, at home, a coffee shop, whatever the case might be, that's fine. I just want you to find a consistent place. That is your time. That is your zone. That's where you need to study as much as possible so that you can eliminate most distractions. Two big distractions: social media and your phone. Get off of Facebook. Do not look and see where your friends are checking in for dinner. Turn your cell phone off. Again, this is your time. This is the time that you have devoted to studying for the step one exam. Make sure you own that. And then these last three, all of you, again, you know and you know better. Exercise, eat better, and then sleep. And I know sleep for med students is something that is foreign to you, but please go to sleep. And I don't mean take a nap or sleep on the couch like this guy in this picture. I mean sleep like my 3-year-old. Put on your pajamas, crawl into bed, turn the light off, and actually get some sleep. Help your brain to recover and help your body be ready for the crazy amount of study that you're about to do in preparing for step one. So again, let's talk about crushing step one. So the plan that we have created utilizes experience from 3 of our on-staff MDs, our customer service team, my 3+ years in the USMLE preparation market, as well as countless surveys from previous Picmonic students. And we've created a 3 and a 6-month plan for you all to follow. And what's great is the plan is fluid enough for each one of you to customize to you. Life happens, right? You get sick, you have to go to a wedding, your cat dies, whatever the case might be. You might have to shorten this plan, you may have to lengthen this plan. That's no problem. We've given you a solid set of bones so that you can go out and customize this plan should you need to. So if you follow this study plan, the good news is we are going to get you more than prepared. So you're going to be able to review over 500 first aid pages. You're going to master over 700 Picmonics, and these Picmonics reference and correspond to the most popular medical education texts that are used today in your schools, in your classrooms: Robbins, Netters, BRS, Up to Date, and then obviously also first aid. And then you're going to be able to assess your mastery of the information using 3,500 different question bank questions. Now, in our plan, we have included the Kaplan and the UWorld question banks, and we've selected these question banks because our highest performing users are using those 2 Q banks. So our study plan works like this. We've broken it down into 16 different categories, and each category is actually broken up into a day And then each day is broken down into 3 to 5 hourly blocks, depending on the subject matter. And this is actually the table of contents taken directly out of our study plan. And each one of these is actually a clickable link so that you can quickly and easily navigate to the specific category that you're going to review that day. So this is our three-prong approach. This is the plan that we have created, and in our plan, we have utilized really three main resources, which we call the three-prong approach. So first, you've got first aid, Picmonic, and your question banks. The days of med students just using first aid and a question bank to prepare for step one are long gone. You have got to have a resource to help you solidify and master the information. And that's thankfully where Picmonic comes in. So let's walk through the three-prong approach and how it's going to look. So first, you're going to review the pages in first aid or in your textbooks that are relevant to the subject matter that we're going to cover in the plan that day. And then you're going to master the information using the Picmonics that correspond to each of the listed first aid pages in the plan. And then you're going to assess your knowledge or assess your mastery of the information using one of these two question banks, whether it be Kaplan or UWorld. Now, real quick on this question bank, I would recommend if you are pretty early on in your step one preparation, go ahead and start using Kaplan. The closer you get to step one, that's when you're going to want to really implement UWorld because those questions tend to be more difficult. So again, you're going to review the applicable pages that we have already outlined for you in our study plan in first aid. You're going to master the Picmonics that correspond to each one of the first aid pages, and then you're going to assess your knowledge and mastery of the information using your question bank questions. So again, first aid, Picmonic, QBank, the three-prong approach. So let's really quickly look at a week straight out of the study plan. So this is pulled right out of our plan and put here on the screen. And as you can see, we're going to cover behavioral sciences. And you see on the left-hand side here, we have a breakdown of the three different resources in the three-prong approach. You've got first aid, Picmonic, and then your question banks. Again, using this plan, you're going to be able to cover the behavioral sciences in 5 days. And you can customize it if you need to. If you want to do this in 2 or 3 days, fantastic. If you want to spread this out over 7 days or more, no problem. I know that you're all going to be able to customize this based upon your specific needs. So let's walk through the grid and how you would use it. So here we have day one. In day one, you're going to read pages 47 through 51 out of first aid. So you read page 47, and then you'll read page 48. But you'll notice on page 48, there are two relevant Picmonics to help you master the information on that text. And then on page 49, you're going to read the text and then watch the two relevant Picmonics. Then you'll read page 50 and 51. So real quickly, you've read page 47 through 51. And on page 48 and 49, you've got 4 different Picmonics between the 2 pages, helping you to master that information. Then you'll come down here and review your question bank questions. Now, if you have Kaplan, that's fine. If you have UWorld, that's great. If you have both, that's wonderful. So again, these 27 questions here and these 12 questions here are already going to be outlined in your plan so you know what questions to go see, and these are going to correspond directly to the behavioral sciences. Now let's jump over to day 4. Now I love day 4 because you only have 2 pages to read, page 59 and page 60. But what you'll notice is that page 59 obviously is some pretty weighty, pretty difficult to comprehend or memorize information because we have 8 different Picmonics that correspond to page 59. So this is a great resource for you to make sure that you're reading the text, you're mastering the information, and then again, you're going to come down here and assess your knowledge and mastery of the information using the question bank questions either in Kaplan or UWorld. So 2 other things I really want to point out on this grid. Here is your estimated time per day down here on the bottom in the orange. And you'll notice on day 1, the estimated time is 3 hours and 41 minutes. Day 2 is 3 hours, 56 minutes. Now, again, I know med students. Most of you are not going to stop at just 3 hours of studying every day. So I know you're going to put 2 days on top of each other. You're probably going to spend a Saturday studying for 7 hours. I'm not saying I recommend it. I'm not saying I don't. I just know that it's going to happen. So again, this is customizable. And if you put 2 days on top of each other and then something happens and you miss a day, you're not going to be off track. You'll be fine. And then I also want to show you this button right here at the top right-hand corner. It says click here for playlist. So when you have your study plan in front of you, you're actually going to be able to click this button at each category, whether it's behavioral sciences, microbiology, psych, immunology, whatever the case might be. You're going to be able to click the playlist. It's going to take you directly to the Picmonic learning system where we have already customized and created these playlists with the Picmonics that correspond directly to that category. So we've done all the playlist creation and customization for you. You're welcome. All right. So again, for those of you that are on the call that are maybe new to Picmonic or you haven't seen it in quite some time, let's just go through a brief introduction. So here you see the Picmonic coronavirus or the crown virus. We know that the coronavirus tends to lead to the common cold, as is represented here by the commoners with a cold. Now, in the Picmonic learning system, we have 3 different modes. We've got learn, review, and quiz. And I'll tell you that you're going to have the best success with Picmonic and mastering this content if you use the modes in that exact order: learn, review, and quiz. So learn is going to have an audio-visual track, and it's going to walk you through an overview of the Picmonic. And that overview is going to introduce you to all the characters, and it's going to point out all the key attributes or the high-yield information that you need to know, particularly for this image. And you can see here on the left-hand side, you have the ability to expand more robust definitions. And we want you to watch this once or twice or as many times as you need to make sure you've got this information down and you're correlating the text to the image. Then you're going to move over to review, and you can see on the left-hand side that here we go. We've taken away the text. We've taken away the definitions for you. So you should be able to regurgitate to yourself the information that was in the text that corresponds to each one of these images or each one of these attributes. And this is a great segue into quiz. So here we have actually blurred out all of the attribute imagery, and we want to test your recall of the image and see how much information related to the Picmonic or the image that you have recalled and remembered. So after testing your knowledge of each one of the attributes, you're going to be asked whether you got it right or wrong. And if you got it right, fantastic. It's going to show it here at the end of the quiz, and the attribute, as you can see, is going to glow green. If you got it wrong, it's going to be red. And again, the attribute is going to glow red. Now, this is a great way for you to figure out whether you have a weakness in this particular category or this particular subject matter. It's a great snapshot and gives you results. And what's great is you can actually rate your confidence based upon your performance. Now, if you got all the attributes or all the questions right and it's all green, fantastic. Let's rate this as high confidence and let's not look at it again because you already know the information. However, this is a good way for you to focus on your weaknesses and turn them into strengths, because if you have a library where you can filter out all of the Picmonics in which you have rated a low confidence, that's a quick, easy way for you to figure that out and only focus on the Picmonics that you don't know rather than the ones that you do. So Picmonic is actually research proven. We participated in an IRB-approved research study several years ago, and in the study, the students saw up to a 331% increase in the long-term memory retention of the information. They also saw a 50% improvement in their exam performance. So the fact that we're research proven and the fact that we just walked through a plan, walking you through all the resources that you're already using, plus walking you through the efficacy and the proven ability of Picmonic to help you, if that hasn't convinced you to use Picmonic in our 3-prong approach, let's look at some information from your peers. So James, who got a 274, tells us that Picmonics correlate directly with first aid and helped him to crush step 1. And then we've got Sam, who's an international student and got a 253, and because of Picmonic was able to recall the information much faster, and again, he was able to crush step 1. So the hardest part of studying is developing a plan. You've got all these resources in front of you. You all are smart. You're already physicians or you're in med school. You know how to study. The problem is putting it all together in a plan. So now, not only do you have a proven plan, you've got Picmonic to work with all of the resources that you're already using, like first aid, like your question bank. And so now you're going to be able to learn more information faster, and your recall is going to be exponentially better. So if you're not already using Picmonic, here is a 20% off discount code for you. Just go to our website, put the promo code CRUSHSTEP into the shopping cart, and you can get a 20% off discount of our 6-month and our 18-month subscriptions. So if anybody has any comments, questions, concerns, you can reach me at feedback@picmonic.com, or you can even shoot over to picmonic.com. We've got a live chat feature. Feel free to ask any questions that you've got. We'll make sure to get to all the questions that we possibly can. All right, so just to recap, after this presentation, we are going to send each and every one of you the study plan that we just walked through, giving you access to over 500 pages of first aid, walking you through each one of those. We're going to give you 700 Picmonics that are going to help you solidify and master this information. The Picmonics, again, reference the most popular medical education texts that are out there: Robbins, BRS, Up to Date, and again, first aid. And then you're going to be able to assess your mastery of the information using these 3,500 question bank questions that we've outlined. You've got a 20% off discount code. It's Crush Step. Just use that on our website. It expires on March the 11th. So make sure you're writing this down so you don't forget. And if you have any questions that we don't get to during our Q&A, send me an email at feedback@picmonic.com or shoot over to picmonic.com and use the live chat feature. Good luck, everybody. I know you're going to do well. I cannot wait to see your results. Thank you again for your time. Everybody, take this plan, grow out, and crush step 1, and we wish you just the best of luck. So let's take some questions. I know that questions have been coming in during the webinar, and I'm going to try to get through as many as I possibly can in our time allowed here. All right, Jennifer. Jennifer wants to know, what if I miss a day? Jennifer, yeah, so great question. We talked about the fact that this plan is proven. We've given you all the resources that are in the plan, and I've told you that it's customizable because we've given you a strong set of bones. If you need to shorten this plan, that's fine. If you need to lengthen this plan, that's fine. And we talked about it earlier. I know most med students, you are not going to stop at just 3 hours of study per day. So if you miss a day, you're going to be able to make it up, no problem. So again, this is a customizable plan. We've given you an outline. Take that based upon your specific needs and do with it what you will. All right, Daniel wants to know, does Picmonic work with other study textbooks besides first aid? Yeah, so we've talked about it a couple times. Again, you've got over 700 Picmonics that you're going to view using this plan. And these Picmonics, the information that we cover in the Picmonics is pulled directly from textbooks, the most popular medical education textbooks, by the way, that your schools use, your professors use, most of you read out of, like Netter's, Robbins, BRS. We reference everything with Up to Date. So you're going to have the information that you need in each one of these Picmonics. All right, Mohammed wants to know, how many times should I review a Picmonic? So I'll tell you that our highest performing users watch each Picmonic 3 to 5 times, and they've said that 3 to 5 times is the amount of views that you need to master a Picmonic. And you'll know that you've got the Picmonic mastered when you go through the quiz feature and you're getting all the attributes correctly. And again, you can rate your confidence if you're not getting all of them correct as low confidence, and you can filter your library and focus only on the Picmonics that are a potential weakness and turn those weaknesses into strengths very quickly. So yes, 3 to 5 times is the amount of views that you typically will need to master a Picmonic. All right, Natasha, do you have plans to integrate any other study resources? So that's a great question. And I'll tell you, at this time, no, we have no plans to integrate any other resources because we've already incorporated first aid, really because all of you already have it. Plus, we reference all the other medical education texts that your schools use, that your professors use, that you all use. So text-wise, we've got everything that's popular and most widely used. And then we've incorporated both the Kaplan and the UWorld question banks because those are the question banks used by our highest performing users. So again, I recommend that you use Kaplan preliminarily. If you're not really close to step 1, use Kaplan, the closer you get to step one, use the UWorld question bank, because those question bank questions tend to be a little bit more difficult. So again, no other plans to integrate any other resources, because we're already using the resources that are most popular and most effective. Kelsey says, do you recommend an Nvme assessment? Yes, so Nvme assessments are fantastic. We talked about this in the best practices section of our study plan, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. So you'll have this on your plan. We recommend you take an Nvme assessment because it's going to be a great way for you to identify any potential weaknesses that you have in the basic sciences. You can go to the National Board of Medical Examiners website. For about $50 to $60, you can purchase an assessment, get a snapshot into where your weaknesses might be. And again, the National Board of Medical Examiners are the folks that write the Step 1 exam questions. So make sure you're seeing these types of questions as much as you possibly can. And then Asha, she wants to know, how did this study guide come about? Great question. So I'll tell you, a lot of students reached out to us and said, we love Picmonic, but we're using first aid. We've got our question bank. Is there a way for the two of them to be used together? Or I'm using this resource, I'm using that resource. How can I use Picmonic with everything? So we said, everybody's got first aid. Everybody's using a question bank. Here are the most popular question banks based upon performance of our users. And we know that Picmonic is going to help everybody master this information. So we put the three-prong approach together. We got our 3 MDs that are on staff. We took my experience in the USMLE market, our fantastic customer service team, and then our awesome users. We got countless surveys from students that used Picmonic and were successful. And using all that feedback, we put this together, and we know we've got a plan that is going to help you absolutely crush step 1. We want all of you to follow it as closely as possible. But again, you can customize it to your specific needs. Okay, so we are getting pretty deep into time here. I want to let everybody get on with their day, start to study, get done whatever you need to get done. Again, good luck, everybody. Please let us know how you do on step 1. Thank you again for your time. It is very much appreciated. Go out, crush step 1, and we can't wait to hear your results. Y'all take care. Bye.